Emmerdale spoilers for next week are a little bit tricky because we've got the big aftermath week of what's going on screen this week, which is the big wedding and the stunt and who's alive, who's dead, and we don't know. We can't say anything. No one's telling us anything. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But we know next week is going to be huge. One spoiler does tell us that there is a huge arrival in the village, bringing with them devastating consequences and massive accusations. As if we haven't had enough devastating consequences, eh? Who could it be? We wonder. Our next spoiler sees D.S. Ramsden's plan unfold, and even Serena is shocked by it. Ramsden is interviewing a villager after the emotional events of this week, but it seems there's a personal thing going on here, and Ramsden seems to be enjoying the emotional pain she's putting them through. A flashback will finally reveal who she is and exactly what she wants. And let's just say there's far more to this particular relationship than even we could have guessed. Away from Ramsden and the events of the wedding, in our next spoiler, Sarah is struggling. I mean, you would be, wouldn't you, after murdering someone and then covering it up and letting your gran take the blame for it? When Bear talks to Sarah about what Charity must be going through, he has no idea that actually he's describing Sarah's pain completely. Will she crack and confess to Bear? The day of Todd's funeral sparks even more guilt and upset. Charity tries to take everyone's mind off it by planning a family meal, but then Ramsden arrives and needs to take Charity back to the station for more questioning. Turns out the forensics don't tally with Charity's self-defense account. Is she in big trouble? Meanwhile, Sarah is desperate to confess. She's determined she's going to do it. Can Serena talk her out of it and save both of their skins? Elsewhere in Emmerdale spoilers, Vinny tells Kev that he's going to postpone his proposal to Lewis. He then worries that Kev has overheard a private conversation he's had with Gabby. Although Kev swears secrecy and promises he won't tell anyone, his angry reaction to what Vinny has to say leaves Vinny wondering whether he's made a massive mistake trusting, confiding in Kev. And finally, Gabby has something on her mind that is clearly weighing heavily. What is it, and why is she feeling so guilty? EastEnders spoilers next week is all about the Hawkins' big arrival. Obviously, we've seen them on screen already, but this time they're here for good. Nicola is not happy when Gemma and Jodie turn up, but she agrees they can stay as long as Rose isn't with them. Of course, Rose soon turns up with Ned, Gemma's husband, in tow. Nicola says absolutely not. Harry agrees to put up Gemma and Ned's son Ryder and Jodie, while Ned goes over to the Vic to apologise to Kat for the commotion when they first arrived. It then turns out he knows Alfie, so Alfie offers Ned and Gemma a place to stay for the night. Nicola is horrified when she walks into the Vic later and sees her family well and truly in with the locals. They clearly aren't going anywhere. But the next day, Kat makes it clear that Gemma and Ned were only welcome for one night, so they need to find somewhere else to stay. Meanwhile, Rose, who stayed at Peacock Palace, is really annoying Elaine and Linda, so they want to get rid of her too. Gemma plots to reunite Rose and Nicola, but the plan backfires and relations are worse than ever. However, Nicola soon has a change of heart and agrees they can stay with her temporarily. But will she change her mind when she realises exactly why her family have come to Walford? Our next spoiler reveals Ravi really wants to tell the kids about his and Priya's engagement. She's reluctant, but then she realises just how much progress Ravi has made and decides they can tell their children. But how will Ivani and Nugget react? Meanwhile, Ravi is really preoccupied with finding out who Priya has been seeing. Later, Priya and Max walk home together and share a moment. Ravi spots them and realises this is who Priya's mystery man is. He's determined to find a way to confirm his suspicions, but just how far will he go? Our third spoiler sees Max and Linda growing closer. He helps her persuade a reluctant Ollie to attend his first day of secondary school. She's touched, and it's clear her feelings for Max are growing. But then she has another date with Clive, and she finally feels able to move forward. However, then Kim reveals the massive part Max played in saving the community centre, and it completely throws Linda. As she's left contemplating her future, is Clive really the man for her? Our final spoiler sees plans underway for Max and Howie's stag do's. Kim is disappointed that it's all about Max and nothing's really been organised for Howie. So she pushes Denzel to organise something for his dad. He approaches Oscar and Oscar agrees they can do a joint shindig. What could possibly go wrong? Coronation spoilers for next week show there is drama with Celeste, drama with Debbie, drama with Shona, and what is going on with Kit? Let's get into it. In our first spoiler, Gemma finds out from Todd that she has a dying aunt and she tracks down Celeste. But things are awkward and Gemma soon leaves. Todd arrives just afterwards, but he and Celeste end up rowing and he stomps off. Unfortunately, Celeste's health takes a turn for the worst. Gemma later sees paramedics rush into Celeste's room and then has to break the devastating news to Bernie that Celeste has died. And she leaves behind a devastating family secret. What has Gemma discovered? With Bernie upset and Dev trying to comfort her, Gemma later shares the truth with Kit and reveals the secret. He's clearly troubled by it. Just what is going on with him? Kit's mood swings are starting to worry Bethany too, so Gemma shares the family secret with her. But is that what's really bothering Kit? What's the truth behind his mood swings and his behaviour recently? Our next spoiler shows Todd is still struggling. He stayed out late, he turns up late for work, so Mary suggests they throw a dinner to show him how much he still means to all of them. But at that point, Todd has arrived to visit Celeste and Ryan breaks the news to him that she has died. How will he cope, having grown so close to her over recent weeks? He tidies up her things and finds a letter addressed to him. It states that she no longer wants a funeral, she just wants a party in her memory. So Todd, Gemma, Bernie, Dev, Asher, Kit, Chesney, Joseph, George and Christina all gather to toast Celeste and say farewell. Todd then reads out a message from Celeste, but what will it say? In our third spoiler, Nina prepares to leave. She has an emotional goodbye in the Rovers with all her friends and has a final moment with Gabby in Seb's memorial garden before Roy drives her off to Whitby to start her new life. Bye Nina, we'll miss you. In our next spoiler, Ronnie is seriously under pressure. Debbie forgets to put her shoes on and wears her slippers to work, and it's clear things are deteriorating. He's also under pressure from Fiona to steal Idris's car as payment for the missing gun. Carl helps him by getting the keys out of Idris's jacket. But when Idris notices his car has gone, he reports it to the police and immediately suspects Ronnie. He punches Ronnie to the floor. But will Ronnie reveal he did take the car? Carl urges him not to retaliate, thinking of Debbie, who needs stability at this time. But can Ronnie resist? Meanwhile, things are clearly getting worse for Debbie. She waltzes into the salon, clearly reliving her 80s hairdresser days, and starts giving Bethany a full-on 80s makeover. Maria returns and is forced to step in just as Debbie picks up the scissors about to cut. Debbie realises that this is not right and she rushes out mortified. She later has a complete meltdown and it's clear Ronnie is exhausted. Kevin and Abby step in to talk to Debbie about perhaps toning down her birthday plans, but will she agree? In our fifth spoiler, Lauren annoys Betsy by turning up for her visit and spending the whole time texting Ollie. Betsy then manages to stand for the first time since her stroke. But when Lauren turns up again, this time with Ollie in tow, Betsy is not happy. Will Lauren realise what she's done wrong here? Later, Lauren forces Betsy to go for a meal at the bistro. But when Betsy knocks her cutlery on the floor and can't pick it up, and Debbie makes a joke that she's drunk, she's absolutely heartbroken. Was this too much too soon? Our next spoiler shows Jodie is given community service for her assault on Sarah. She got off a bit lightly, didn't she? She then asks Kit out on a date to wind up Bethany and turns up at the bistro at the same time as Bethany is on her date with Roman. Things get really heated. Shona is also furious with Jodie for wooing Kit. She says she's backstabbing Sarah. She warns Kit that getting involved with her sister would be the worst mistake he's ever made. She's not wrong. But will he pursue things with Jodie? Is this part of his downward spiral that he's on? Or will he come to his senses and realise she is not the woman for him? In our final spoiler, Shona is really struggling with baby Harper. She panics over a rash only to discover it's just teething. She also has no idea that Jodie is messing with her head by hiding her car keys. What is wrong with that girl? As Shona calls David to offload, she panics when she realises she's left Harper in the car. She rushes outside and finds Daniel cradling the baby in his arms. Is Shona heading for a breakdown?